At 55, you look around and realize the life you built no longer fits. Maybe the career collapsed, the relationship ended, the savings vanished, or perhaps you just woke up one morning and whispered, "Is this all there is?" You thought by now you'd have it figured out. Instead, you're starting from scratch and everyone's watching. If that's your reality, listen up. This isn't the end. It's the plot twist. I know you're terrified because starting over at 50 feels like running a marathon when everyone else has already crossed the finish line. After all, the job market doesn't want you. Your savings are gone, your confidence is shattered, and society keeps whispering, "Too late. You missed your chance." But here's what the Stoics understood, what neuroscience proves, and what psychology agrees on. Your brain can rewire. Your life can be rebuilt. And starting over at 60 isn't a tragedy. It's a masterclass in resilience. In this video, we're exploring 7 principles for reinventing yourself at 50 when you have nothing but determination. I encourage you to watch it to the end because what looks like the end of your story is actually the first, raw sentence of the best chapter you've ever written. Let's begin with the hardest truth. 1. Accept that your old life is dead. It's no longer news that the career you spent 30 years building is gone. The marriage you thought was forever is equally over. And what about the retirement plan you counted on? Destroyed. Stop trying to get back to where you were. That version of your life died. And mourning is necessary, but living there is suicide. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Put simply, this means the story you're telling yourself about starting over at 50 is worse than the actual experience of doing it. You're imagining humiliation, failure, and poverty. But reality is for you to take one step at a time. One small win, building on another. Here's what neuroscience teaches us. Your brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to form new connections, doesn't expire at 50. You can learn new skills, build new careers, and create new identities. But first, you have to let go of who you were. Not with bitterness, with gratitude for what was, and courage for what's next. Write this down. My old life served me. Now it's time for something new. Say it until you believe it. 2. Stop competing with 30-year-olds. Leverage what they don't have. You look at job postings asking for 20 years of experience but hiring people half your age. You wonder, what's the point of trying? Here's the bitter truth. You're playing the wrong game. Stop applying for jobs designed for people climbing ladders. Start creating opportunities that leverage your decades of wisdom, crisis management, emotional intelligence, and life experience. The Swiss psychologist Carl Jung taught that the second half of life is about meaning, not achievement. Starting a new career at 50 isn't about matching a 25-year-old's energy. It's about offering what only someone who's survived can offer. You can use the wealth of experience you gathered over the years to offer consulting and coaching, teaching, freelancing, and project-based work. These industries value experience over youth. And here's the secret nobody tells you about starting a business at 50. You have skills younger people don't even know they need yet. You know how to handle failure. You understand people. You've navigated decades of relationship dynamics, workplace politics, and financial setbacks. That's not a liability, that's currency. It's time to stop apologizing for your age and start charging for your wisdom. 3. Build a survival budget instead of a dream life. At the moment, you're embarrassed about where you're living, the cheap apartment, the roommate situation, and the fact that you can't afford the life you had before. Stop measuring your worth by your zip code. Right now, you need financial planning for starting over, which means radical downsizing without shame. Cut everything that's not survival. The expensive car, the cable subscription, eating out, the pride that says, "I'm too old to live like a college student." You're not building your forever life right now. You're building your foundation. And foundations are supposed to be bare bones. B.J. Fogg's research on behavior change shows that tiny habits build momentum. Start with, "Can I survive this month?" Then build from there. Get a roommate. Move somewhere cheaper. Take the embarrassing job that pays the bills while you figure out your next move. Temporary poverty with a plan beats permanent poverty with pride. Every successful person who started over at 50 or 60 went through this phase. They just don't post it on social media. If you've made it this far, you're already stronger than most. But the next principle? It's the one that separates people who stay stuck from those who actually rebuild, and it changes everything. Before, stop waiting to feel ready. You tell yourself you'll apply for jobs once you update your skills. You'll start networking once you feel confident. You'll launch that business once you have everything figured out. Meanwhile, months pass, then years, and you're still waiting to feel ready. If you think you've heard it all, hang on for a shocker. You will never feel ready, never. Starting over after 50 means building the plane while you're flying it. As Viktor Frankl taught, meaning comes from action, not preparation. He survived concentration camps not by waiting for better circumstances, but by finding purpose in impossible ones. Your circumstances right now are hard, but they're not impossible. Apply for jobs you're 60% qualified for. Reach out to people even though it feels desperate. Start the side business before you have all the answers. Here's what happens in your brain when you take action before you're ready. Dopamine floods your system. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect credentials. You need momentum. One application, one conversation, one small step today. That's how life after divorce at 50 becomes a comeback story. That's how starting from scratch at 50 becomes your origin story. 5. Find one person who believes in you and ignore everyone else. At this stage, your family thinks you're crazy. Your friends offer realistic advice that sounds like, give up gracefully. Everyone has opinions about your age, your choices, your chances. Ignore them. All of them. You need one person, just one, who looks at you starting over at 60 and says, you can do this. It could be a mentor, friend, therapist, or stranger on the internet who's been where you are. Psychologist Carl Rogers taught that unconditional positive regard is essential for growth. You need someone who believes in you when you don't believe in yourself. But here's the critical part. Choose wisely. Don't mistake support for people enabling your fear. Real support challenges you, pushes you, refuses to let you quit when things get hard. Fake support pats your head and says, it's okay to give up. You tried. Find the person who won't let you quit. Then let everyone else's voices fade into background noise. Because here's the reality. Most people will project their own fears onto your situation. They're not worried about you. They're worried about themselves facing the same thing. Your success terrifies them. Don't let their fear become yours. Verse 6. Redefine success as survival first, thriving later. When you were in your 20s and 30s, you used to measure success by title, salary, and status. Now you're measuring it by whether you can pay rent. That shift feels like failure. It's not. It's wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This means success is whatever keeps you standing today. Did you go through the week without a breakdown? Success. Did you make one connection that might lead to work? Success. Didn't you give up when you wanted to? Success. Stop comparing your chapter 50 to someone else's highlight reel. Most people didn't lose everything and rebuild. You're in a different game now. The goal isn't to match your old life. The goal is to build a new life that's sustainable, meaningful, and yours. Lower the bar for now. You can raise it later when you're stable. Right now, personal growth at 50 looks like just showing up, and that's enough. 7. Use fear as fuel, not as an excuse. You're scared, terrified, actually. Overcoming fear to start over feels impossible most days. But here's what Pema Chodron teaches. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. The truth is that you have no safety net, backup plan, or guaranteed outcome. And that's exactly what makes you dangerous. People with nothing to lose take risks that others won't. They try things that respectable people are too afraid to attempt. They rebuild because staying stuck is scarier than failing. Your fear isn't stopping you, it's showing you what matters. Every time you feel afraid, ask, what am I afraid of losing that I don't actually have? Your reputation? Already damaged by circumstance. Your security? Already gone. People's approval? They're judging you anyway. You're free in a way most people never experience. Use it. The worst has already happened. Everything from here is a bonus round. Conclusion. Well, my beloved warriors, here's the truth. Starting over at 50 or 60 with nothing is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. But it's also proof that you're stronger than anything life throws at you. These 7 principles won't make it easy. Nothing will. But they'll help you build a life worth living from the ashes of what you lost. In the comments below, tell me, where are you in your restart? What's your biggest fear? Let's support each other through this, because nobody should rebuild alone. If this video helped, subscribe for more midlife reinvention wisdom. Hit like. Turn on notifications so YouTube notifies you when we release another video. We're building a community of people who refuse to let life's hardest chapters write their ending.